Is Hope Logan finally stepping into her villain era? Or is this just the most genius business move we've ever seen in Los Angeles? We've all watched her play the good girl for years. She's been the one trying to keep the peace, the one waiting for her turn, and the one always trying to take the high road. But honestly, it looks like that road has finally led her to a dead end at Forrester Creations. Now, she's ready to burn down the house that Ridge built. Was this really just about a fashion line getting put on hold? Or is Hope finally waking up to the fact that in the Forrester world, you're either a predator or you're the prey? Let's be real for a second. The atmosphere at Forrester Creations has turned absolutely toxic lately. And I'm not just talking about the fumes from the fabric dyes. Hope Logan has hit her breaking point. And can we even blame her? After months of watching Steffy, Forrester basically put the Hope for the Future line into a corporate coma, Hope has realized something huge. She's realized that no amount of hard work or Logan loyalty is ever going to win over a CEO who sees her as a personal and professional threat. Think about why this is happening right now. It isn't just about the clothes. It's about the way Ridge chose his daughter over his stepdaughter's career once again. And then you have Brooke. Oh, Brooke. She failed to secure that co-CEO spot that Hope practically begged her to take. Why? Because the moment Ridge looked at her with those puppy dog eyes, she backed down. This created a total vacuum. Hope realized she was standing completely alone in that boardroom. No shield, no protector. Just her and a rival who wants to see her fail. We have to talk about Brooke's role in this mess because it's honestly both heartbreaking and a little bit infuriating. Hope pushed her mom to fight for that seat. Not because she was greedy, but because she needed a literal human shield against Steffy's business decisions. And what did Brooke do? She folded like a cheap suit. Brooke's decision to just accept Ridge's no is such a classic example of her putting her marriage ahead of her daughter's professional survival. She fell for Ridge's pain over potentially demoting Steffy, but she completely ignored the very real pain Hope was feeling while her life's work was being shelved. Hope isn't just angry right now, she's feeling abandoned. Have you ever felt that sting when someone who's supposed to have your back just doesn't? There's this deep sense of isolation when your own mother, the woman who fought the Forresters for decades, tells you to be patient, while your rival is literally laughing in your face. This isn't just a mother-daughter tiff. This is a massive generational shift. Brooke is still playing by those old rules of keep your man at all costs, while Hope is realizing those rules have left her with nothing but a desk and a paused label on her career. I honestly think Brooke's tears were a bit of a move to stay in Ridge's good graces, but in the process, she basically handed Steffy the keys to Hope's future. It feels incredibly selfish, even if she's trying to call it peacemaking. Brooke seems to be suffering from this deep fear that if she pushes Ridge too hard, he'll leave. Her whole ego is tied up in being his Logan, and if that means sacrificing Hope's dreams, she's clearly willing to do it. And then there's the way the Forresters are talking about Hope. Steffy and Ridge are calling her reaction a tantrum. They want to paint her as this entitled child who just can't handle a little business setback. But let's look at the psychology behind that. Calling a grown woman's professional frustration a tantrum is total gaslighting. It's a way to take her valid concerns about market share and creative momentum and make them look like emotional instability. Inside, Hope is just screaming to be seen. She's spent her whole life trying to be the moral Logan. She wanted to be the reserved, traditional version of her mother. But seeing Steffy, who is unapologetically aggressive and takes whatever she wants, win everything, that has shattered Hope's belief that being good is enough. This is Hope's villain origin story, but in any other world, we just call it becoming an entrepreneur. She's finally realized that the only way to stop being controlled by Steffy is to own the building herself. Steffy is absolutely using her position for a personal vendetta here. She says it's all about business reasons and focusing on Eric's line, but you can see the joy she takes in Hope's failure. It's written all over her face. She isn't just a CEO. She's a gatekeeper who loves keeping that gate locked tight. Steffy has this deep-seated need for control that probably goes all the way back to her childhood. By crushing Hope, she feels like she's finally winning the war that Taylor Hayes lost to Brooke Logan. It's unresolved trauma coming out as corporate sabotage. But Hope isn't just walking away quietly. She has a plan, and it involves gutting Forrester from the inside out. Her first target? Zend. This is a brilliant move. Hope is exploiting a weakness that Steffy created herself. By ignoring Zen's massive talent and treating him like a second-tier employee, Steffy left the door wide open. Hope is walking in and offering him the one thing every creative person dies for: respect. Zen has been like a ghost in his own family's company. He's watching RJ get all the spotlight while he does all the heavy lifting in the shadows. Hope isn't just poaching him. She's saving him from being forgotten. It's a merger of the marginalized. Both Hope and Zen are Forrester adjacent, but they've never truly been in that inner circle. Their alliance is built on shared resentment, and let me tell you, that is a way bigger motivator than a paycheck. I love this for Hope. It shows a level of ruthlessness she's never had before. She knows that if she takes Zen, Forrester loses its most versatile designer, and Steffy's couture focus suddenly has a giant hole in it. But she didn't stop there. Hope is reportedly going after the Spencer legacy too. She's trying to convince Will to leave Forrester and join Katie at the Logan fashion house. This is a chess move. By pulling Will away, she isn't just hurting their talent pool. She's cutting off a major branch of the Spencer-Forrester alliance. She's sending a message. The Logans are no longer just the other family. They are the destination. Will is young and caught in the middle of a literal fashion war. He wants to be loyal to his mom, but he's working in the belly of the beast. Hope is playing on his sense of family duty to get what she wants. She is redefining what it means to be a Logan. It's not just a last name anymore. It's a brand. She's creating this Logan League that could actually take down the Forrester name. It might feel a bit extreme to some of you, but honestly, it's exactly what she needs to do. If she wants to destroy Forrester Creations, she has to hit them where it hurts. Their future. Now let's talk about the new name. Legacy of Hope. That is such a direct shot at Steffy's hope for the future. It's a total power move. A future is something you wait for, something you hope someone gives you. But a legacy? That's something you build yourself. It signals that Hope is done waiting for a relaunch date that Steffy is never going to give her. Every stitch in this new line is going to be fueled by the humiliation she felt when Steffy laughed at her. You can see a cold, hard determination in Hope now. The soft optimism is gone. Hope is stepping into this disruptor role. She's the woman who refuses to stay in her lane. She is reclaiming her agency. For years, her value was tied to how well she could represent the Forrester image. By creating her own brand, she's finally separating her self-worth from Ridge's approval. And let's be honest, Legacy of Hope sounds way more expensive than Hope for the Future. It sounds like something that belongs at Paris Fashion Week, not just a sub-brand of a legacy house. Of course, Steffy isn't going to let her walk away without a fight. The rumors say she's ready to hit Hope with a lawsuit. She doesn't want the line at Forrester, but she doesn't want it to exist anywhere else either. She's basically trying to own the name Hope Logan. Can you imagine? Being told you can't even use your own name because your ex-stepsister thinks she owns the concept of you? That is enough to drive anyone to the edge. This lawsuit isn't about legal trademarks. It's about a non-compete clause for Hope's soul. Steffy wants to make sure that if Hope leaves, she leaves with absolutely nothing. It's total gatekeeping. Steffy sees the Hope name as Forrester property because it was built under their roof. Her ego just cannot handle the idea of a Logan brand succeeding without a Forrester prefix in front of it. I really hope Hope sues her right back for breach of contract and defamation. The idea that Steffy can hold Hope's name hostage while refusing to let her work is just wrong. Things are about to get so much worse before they get better. Ridge is stuck in the middle, trying to play peacemaker while his own daughter is sharpening the knives. Brooke is sending these sweet texts to Steffy while her own daughter is planning a corporate coup. The tension is through the roof because this isn't a family spat anymore. This is a declaration of war. The fireworks are just getting started. When Hope finally walks out that door, she isn't just leaving an office. She's leaving a family behind. And when she takes Zen with her, that is a betrayal that Ridge might never forgive. I'm predicting that Legacy of Hope is going to be huge, but it's going to cost Hope everything on a personal level. Steffy's lawsuit is going to drag out, and it's going to force Hope to choose between her name and her brand. The real fallout, though, is going to be between Ridge and Brooke. Ridge is going to see Hope's move as a personal attack on his life's work. Brooke is going to be forced to finally choose a side. If she chooses Ridge, she's going to lose Hope forever. If she chooses Hope, the bridge marriage is basically over. And keep an eye on Zend. Once he gets a taste of real creative freedom, he might not stay the loyal soldier Hope thinks he is. In the world of high fashion, everyone is looking out for their own legacy. Do you think Hope is entering her villain era now? Is Hope Logan finally stepping into her villain era? Or is she simply the first person at Forrester Creations who has stopped playing by the rules of a rigged game? We have all watched her play the good girl for nearly 20 years. She is always taking the high road and always hoping for just a tiny scrap of professional respect from her stepfamily. But honestly, it looks like the gloves are officially off, and the air at Forrester is turning more toxic than the dyes in their couture line. We really have to ask ourselves, is this a calculated business move? Or is Hope finally undergoing a total psychological collapse that might just take the entire company down with her? Let's be real for a second. The situation at Forrester Creations didn't just break overnight. It has been a slow-motion car crash for months now. Hope Logan has reached what many are calling a breaking point. And if you think about it, can we even blame her? After watching Steffy Forrester basically put hope for the future into a corporate coma, Hope has finally realized that no amount of hard work is ever going to win over a CEO who sees her as a personal and professional threat. This isn't just about a fashion line. It is about the systematic dismantling of Hope's entire identity within those office walls. Why is this happening now? Well, it's because Ridge chose his daughter over his stepdaughter's career one more time, and Brooke, despite all her big talk about Logan power, backed down the very second Ridge looked at her. This created a total vacuum where Hope realized she was standing completely alone in that boardroom. That is a dangerous place for a woman with nothing left to lose. We really have to dive into the Brooke Logan of it all because that betrayal is the real spark here. Hope pushed her mother to fight for the co-CEO seat, not because she was being greedy, but because she desperately needed a shield against Steffy's business decisions. And what did Brooke do? The funny thing is, she folded like a cheap suit the second Ridge told her it wasn't fair to Steffy. Brooke's choice to just accept Ridge's refusal is such a classic example of her putting her marriage ahead of her daughter's professional survival. She fell for Ridge's performance of pain, while completely ignoring the very real professional death sentence her own daughter was facing. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Does Brooke even care about Hope's career as much as she cares about keeping Ridge happy? Hope isn't just angry right now. She is feeling deeply abandoned by the one person who was supposed to have her back. There is this profound sense of isolation that hits you when your own mother, the woman who fought the Forresters for decades, tells you to be patient, while your rival is literally laughing in your face. This isn't just a mother-daughter disagreement anymore. It's a massive generational shift in how these women handle the men in their lives. Brooke is still stuck playing by the old rules of keep the man happy at all costs, while Hope is waking up to the fact that those rules have left her with nothing but a desk and a paused label on her life's work. I honestly believe Brooke's tears were a bit of a manipulation tactic to stay in Ridge's good graces, but in the process she basically handed Steffy the keys to Hope's future. It feels incredibly selfish when you look at it that way, even if she's trying to call it peacemaking. Brooke seems to be suffering from a deep fear that if she pushes Ridge too hard, he'll leave her, and she's clearly willing to sacrifice Hope's legacy to keep her place at his side. Now we have to look at the way the Forresters are framing this whole mess. They are calling Hope's reaction a tantrum. They want everyone to believe she is just an entitled child who can't handle a little business setback. But calling a grown woman's professional frustration a tantrum is such a classic gaslighting move, isn't it? It's a way to take her valid concerns about her market share and creative momentum and reframe them as emotional instability. Inside, Hope is just screaming to be recognized. She has spent her whole life trying to be the moral Logan, the reserved traditional version of her mother. Seeing Steffy, who is unapologetically aggressive, when everything has shattered Hope's belief that being good is enough to succeed. This is definitely Hope's villain origin story, but in any other world, we just call it becoming an entrepreneur. She's finally realized that the only way to stop being controlled by Steffy is to own the building herself. Steffy is absolutely using her position for a personal vendetta here, no matter what she says in the boardroom. She claims it's about business reasons and focusing on Eric's line, but you can see the pure joy she takes in Hope's failure. She isn't just a CEO. She's a gatekeeper who loves keeping the gate locked tight. Steffy has this deep-seated need for control that probably goes back to her childhood and her own mother's struggles. By crushing Hope, she feels like she is finally winning the war that Taylor Hayes lost to Brooke Logan years ago. It's unresolved trauma coming out as corporate sabotage, and Hope is finally matching that energy. But Hope's plan isn't just to leave, it's to gut Forrester from the inside out. Her first target? Zen Forrester Dominguez. This is a brilliant and totally ruthless move. Hope is exploiting a weakness that Steffy created herself. By ignoring Zen's talent and treating him like a second-tier employee, Steffy left the door wide open for Hope to walk in and offer him the one thing every creative person dies for: respect. Zen feels like a ghost in his own family's company lately. He's watching RJ get the spotlight while he does the heavy lifting in the shadows. Hope isn't just poaching him, she is saving him from professional obscurity. This is what I like to call a merger of the marginalized. Both Hope and Zen are Forrester adjacent, but they have never truly been in that inner circle. Their alliance is built on shared resentment, and let me tell you, that is a way more powerful motivator than a paycheck. I love this move for Hope because it shows a level of calculation we haven't seen from her before. She knows that if she takes Zen, Forrester loses their most versatile designer, and Steffy's couture focus suddenly has a giant hole in it. Hope is using her reputation for being kind to manipulate these men into seeing her as their only path to success. It's a masterclass in soft power manipulation, don't you think? And she isn't stopping with Zen. She is reportedly going after the next generation of Spencers too. Hope is trying to convince Will Spencer to leave Forrester and join his mother, Katie, at the Logan fashion house. This is a chess move designed to hurt the company's future stability. By pulling Will away, she isn't just hurting the talent pool. She's cutting off a major branch of the Spencer-Forrester alliance. She is making it clear that the Logans are no longer just the other family, they are the destination. Will is young and caught in the middle of a literal fashion war, and Hope is playing on his sense of family duty to further her own agenda. She is redefining what Logan means in the fashion world. It's no longer just a surname, it's a brand. If she succeeds in taking Zen and Will, Steffy could suddenly lose multiple important people at once, and that would damage both the company's stability and Steffy's personal reputation as a leader. It's a double tap to the heart of the company. In the world of primetime soaps, we often see this matriarch type of control, where a woman takes charge of a tribe to protect her interests. Hope is building a new family where she is the one in charge, effectively replacing the mother figure she feels failed her at Forrester. Now let's talk about the brand itself. Legacy of Hope. The name alone is a direct middle finger to Steffy's hope for the future. It signals a massive evolution. A future is something you wait for, something you hope someone gives you. But a legacy? That is something you build yourself. It shows that Hope is done waiting for a relaunch date that Steffy is never going to give her. Every stitch in this new line is going to be fueled by the humiliation she felt when Steffy laughed in her face. There is a cold, hard determination in Hope now that has replaced her usual soft optimism. She is moving into a disruptor role, refusing to stay in her lane any longer. She is reclaiming her agency by separating her self-worth from Ridge's approval. Honestly, Legacy of Hope sounds like a brand that can stand on its own at Paris Fashion Week. By choosing to launch with high-end couture instead of a safe ready-to-wear collection, she is aiming directly at Forrester's most valuable territory. This isn't just an escape, it is a declaration of war. She's not asking for space in the industry, she is taking it by force. But you know Steffy isn't going to let her walk away that easily, right? So I've got to ask you guys, what do you think? Is Hope being too ruthless by poaching Zen and Will, or is it about time she started fighting like a Forrester? And what about Steffy? Is she right to protect the brand? Or is she just being incredibly petty by trying to sue Hope for using her own name? I'm dying to know your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. Are you Team Logan or Team Forrester in this upcoming fashion war? If you love this deep dive into the Legacy of Hope drama, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a spoiler. We'll be right here tracking every single move in this all-out war between Steffy and Hope. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.